Hi, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to episode 29 of Aussie Cluff as we seek to return Nottingham Forest to the top of European football. And oh my, if you can see any red wheels, please return them to me because the wheels have fallen off our wagon. You can see it's not gone well since last episode where we progressed in the FA Cup against Leeds. We went and we played Middlesbrough in the league. You can see it was 0-0. There was not many performances until this point that had been poor, but this was one of them. Elizage missed a 93rd minute penalty as well, which would have sneaked us the 3 points, but it just wasn't to be. You can see those match ratings; they just weren't there for that particular game. Then we went and played Southampton at home. Now we dominated this game, but poor finishing kept it much closer than it should have been. Elizage again was really poor; had quite a few chances to make this a comfortable win for us, and just wasn't at the races. Now we played Villa. We went to Villa Park, although it's George Ramsay Park now, because if you remember, we redeveloped the stadium when we were there. Now we were outplayed, but we did manage to stay in the game, and you can see it was so disappointing. 95th minute goal we conceded to to lose the game after Elizage had come off the bench and put us back to get a point. Yeah, I mean that really stung, but like I said, we were outplayed. Now Carabao Cup final. Now I know I said we were going to come back for the second leg, but you can see the first leg we were absolutely outplayed. We never ever had a sniff. So at that point, I thought there's no point coming back for the second leg because it's done. We'll come back for Arsenal in the FA Cup instead. But again, you can see those match ratings. We were just absolutely thoroughly outplayed. Then Fulham just proving to be a little bit of a stick in our neck, aren't they? Because we were poor again in this game, and we did play with 10 men after the 69th minute. I was trying to change things up because we weren't at the races. Then Jack Cox got injured in the 69th minute. So we're down to 10 men. So that didn't help the cause. I think we were the better team, I think, in this game. Had we not gone down to 10 men, we probably could have won it. We almost won it anyway, to be fair. We did have a few decent chances to win it, but injuries in this game did not help either. Curtis Jones, Elizage picked up a knock, and as I said, Jack Cox. So then we had the second leg against Chelsea. It was basically done. We gave a much better of account of ourselves in this game, but Chelsea, they're just too good for us. You can see Bobby Mack got the goal for us, as did Louis Mars. But like I say, we were better, especially given that it was at home, I think probably helped. But Chelsea never gave us a sniff, and you can see it was, 6-2 on aggregate. So unfortunately, Wembley isn't going to come through the Carabao Cup. So like I said, this episode, what we'll do is we'll do Arsenal in the FA Cup. We haven't seen them play yet, so that'll be good. Then we go away to Manchester City. They're currently fourth in the league, so that's going to be a big game for us as well. We really need to start turning this form around because it hasn't been good enough. But you can see we're still sitting third in the league. Two of those defeats in the schedule there were the cup games, so that made it look a little bit worse maybe than it was. But you can see we're only 4 points ahead now, fifth place, albeit with games in hand, but it's going to be tough. So it's big episode, this one. Now, before we get to the games, transfer window is about to close. We've done all our business. You can see 3 signings to introduce you to. First is Damien Buzanel. You can see young defender from Slovenia, 18 years old, and look at those physical stats for an 18-year-old. Mentally is quite good as well. Technically, as you would expect, isn't quite there yet, but that's fine. He's 18. What would you expect? So this is basically someone that's going to come in and come into the squad this year. He's played a couple of games with limited success, but I think in the future, I think you'll agree, quite a good player we've got there. And we picked him up for 125,000 as well. Now we've got Ali Kaiza, I think you'd pronounce that. Now this guy had some serious problems with injury. You can see Congolese 24. The scouts rate him close to 100%. I can't remember exactly what it was, but injury problems have really hampered his progress. So we've taken a bit of a gamble on him. He only cost us 120,000 again, so not too much of a risk in terms of financially. But if he comes through for us, I think he'll be quite a good player. We just need to get him fit. I'm not expecting him to play too much this year. To be honest, I just want him to settle into the club, get some fitness, get these attributes on the rise, and then we'll see how we go with him for next season. We'll probably bring him off the bench for some games. And then from Barcelona, 400,000, Mariano Ortiz. And this is another guy, 23, as you can see. The scouts did rate him 100%. Now, I find that hard to believe. No player is perfect. But this is basically the guy that we have for Louis Mars. He's played, again, a few games, limited success. He hasn't scored a goal yet, but I think he's going to be good. He's not that much off Louis Mars physically in terms of pace, acceleration, things like that. It's day and night. The crossing, dribbling, finishing, first touch. That's all day and night to Louis Mars. So, and again, he's only going to get better. So I think we've got another good player there. But let me know what you think in the comments. We do have a couple of outs. Ryan Mitchell, we brought him in from Villa, our first year at the club for League One. He's a decent defender, attributes wise, especially physically. Even there, like he's got the basic defending stats down, positioning's good. Just not a Premier League player. So we sold him on to QPR but we basically got our money back. And our young left back, Jordan Thomas, we've sent him out on loan. I've sort of brought him into the first team squad this year. Now, not much has come through our academy. Jordan Thomas looks decent. So we've put him out on loan. Hopefully he'll get some game time, improve, and then I think next season we could see him come in as a left back, sort of back up to Scando. So high hopes for him. But let's get on with the Arsenal game. This is the team we're sending out. We're trying to go as strong as we can. Australia's still involved in the Asian Cup, so we haven't got our first choice keepers back yet. So Story, the guy on loan from Middlesbrough, continues. Davidson, Ed Sheeran, and Malacase across the back. Scando and Joku down the wings. Griffiths and Arosa in midfield. Zelaw comes in. Of course, Curtis Jones is injured, so we've brought Zelaw in. Bennett, who would normally play back there, we've had to bring him up front because Elazage is injured. You can see he can play as a target man. Attributes wise anyway, bit of pace as well. So hopefully we can maybe spring a counter attack with him up there. And of course Callum Mosley is the poacher. And of course there'll be a brief goals of the month at the end of this episode. We haven't scored many. We did score a few good ones though, but do stick around after Man City for that. Now that is annoying because I haven't set up for this formation. I did have Liam Mason to play sort of in here as a halfback, but the analyst report before the game said they were playing 4-4-2, so we didn't do that. So it's time to put this poor form run to an end. I did have a team meeting, basically saying don't let your head drop. We've been doing well. Let's kick up our game again. So hopefully we'll get some sort of reaction here. All right, this is our first trip to the Emirates, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. Injuries aren't helping us right now. I did say that was one thing that could derail us, and we have just been picking up a few little knocks here and there, and bringing in the new players as well. I think that may have disrupted things a little bit. I've put us onto team cohesion in training, and I've put us onto sort of teamwork for match preparation. So hopefully that'll start to show now a little bit. It was my concern with bringing in players that could happen. And see, Louis Mars, we've taken him out of the Premier League squad as well, which I'm maybe reconsidering because we have that Les Lloyd, the Australian striker as well, who we signed. I'm wondering if I should put him out on loan and keep Louis Mars. But when you look at the attributes, they're just not as good. Louis Mars, sorry, is just not as good as the two new guys. So I'm thinking maybe even if it's a little bit of short-term hurt this season, I think long-term will be better. And even if we maybe do drop out of the Champions League places into maybe say Europa League, then I think next season will be better for it. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. Louis Mars has basically peaked, and his finishing is 11, his dribbling is 11. And can we get that clear? Oh no! Oh, that's a silly goal that we weren't conceding earlier on in the season, which is frustrating because that's supposed to be our strength, is defending crosses. And yeah, I mean Mosley has let his man go a little bit there. Well, not a little bit. He's definitely let his man go, but there's no one else. I don't understand. There's no one else out there. Maybe the wing. Sorry, our wing back. Yeah, should have done a little bit better. Let's give this a concentrate. Can we get ahead on that one? We can. It's picked up again by Arsenal, though. Oh, it's too much space. Too much space. I wouldn't be completely against going out of the cup here. I feel like the Carabao Cup run did take a little bit of a toll, as you would expect. It's more games. I don't know what to do to sort of break us out of this little slump that we're in. And I'm wondering if focusing on the league might help that, but yeah, it's just hard to say, isn't it? We're all over the shop defensively. Oh, crossbar. Davidson clears. It'll help, I think, a little bit too if when we get Vasquez and Token Aussie back to just sort of a bit of stability in goalkeeper. Vasquez was starting to look really, really good before he got called up, which was a little bit annoying. But at least he's playing for the Australian team. Token Aussie isn't even playing, which is just annoying because his match sharpness is, or good tackle, Ed Sheeran. His match fitness is going down as well, his match sharpness. So when he comes back, we're going to have to play a bunch of games in the under-23s with him just to get his match sharpness back. I think that's probably the one position. Oh no, the one position that actually really matters to match sharpness is goalkeeper because you can't mess up basically because it's a goal. Well, this is going horribly. Uh, Not the best clearance from Mosley, but we're just all over the shop. It's hard to understand exactly what's happened here. We're just slipping away slowly into the night, aren't we? I'm wondering if it might be a case of just changing up the formation a little bit. We might try that against Manchester City actually, because we don't really have anything to lose. Manchester City's a much better team than us. I'm thinking I might go as aggressive harsh, not good enough. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I do not understand why he cannot play from the start. Only comes off the bench. All right, that was terrible. That may absolutely ruin their confidence, but we'll go with that and just see if we get any sort of reaction here. What we might look to do is bring on Ortiz so you can have a look at him, and maybe Buzanel as well. I've been playing Charlie Clark a little bit. That was the young midfielder we signed from Everton, I think it was. Oh, decent tackle from Njoku. Um, can we get this clear? Mosley's doing his defensive work nicely there. We're just not getting out. I wonder if we need to push up a little bit here. The problem with that is that it exposes us horribly to through balls and own goal. Oh, this is just absolutely infuriating. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to have to try and change things here. The game's gone, unfortunately. So we'll just go back to a normal line. We'll bring on Ortiz for Bennett because that's just not working with him there. Actually, no, we'll undo that. We'll bring on Ortiz for Zelor because Zelor's been absolutely horrible. We'll do that. We'll bring Lewis. This is what I'm talking about with Louis Mars. You can see his physical stats are good. Everything else is just not great. So it's a little bit of a tough one. No, let's not bring him on for Mosley. Let's play Bennett as an attacking midfielder. Let's play him as an advanced playmaker. And we'll just go from there, I guess. Ortiz, go out there and make a difference. Ortiz is well, I mean, you've seen his stats. He's good, and he's only going to get better. So it's a good opportunity here to play him, see what happens, and go from there. Well, Ed Sheeran's not having a good game either. It might be a good game to bring Buzanel on. Again, just trying to integrate them into the squad, get them used to the way that we're playing, which is horribly, so we don't want to get them too used to that. He should be on the cover. Not that that's going to make too much of a difference, but we'll say there's no pressure on him. Look relaxed, maybe overly so. Perfect. So everything is going wrong this episode, or this game anyway. All right, can we nick one back here? Bennett over the ball, back to somebody. I can't see who that is. Buzanel! Decent opportunity to get his first goal for the club there. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts of what we can do to turn this around, let me know. Like I say, we might just try switching up the formation. Maybe we're becoming a little bit predictable in that sense. There's a good ball for Njoku, crosses it in for Ortiz, go home! Mariano Ortiz off the mark for Nottingham Forest. That was a nice little goal at the near post, wasn't it? We worked this nicely, found Njoku in space, and then Njoku does what Njoku does, gets a nice ball in, and Ortiz with a nice header at the near post, beating the defender. We'll take that, and hopefully can we kick on here. I mean, we've had our chances, we just haven't... Again, it's just one of those games we've just been outplayed by what is essentially a better team. There's a nice ball for Davidson. Oh, I'm not sure that was the pass, but Griffiths is there. He thinks it back in. Goal! Offside! Oh, that would have been big. That would have made it for an interesting finish. All right, let's see what we can do here. Come on, boys. All right, Bennett over the free kick. Bennett! Oh, really missed by a long way, didn't it, in the end? Oh, come on, push forward, boys. Come on. We have another change to make. Lawrence Bennett is looking tired. What we can do here, let's try bringing Clarkey on. We'll drop him back in there. Arosa as an advanced playmaker. All right, so we can do that, and then we'll play Clarkey as a supporting midfielder. I've been happy with the way Charlie Clark's been playing. So again, it's a good opportunity to give him some game time and just kind of see what happens. All right. Oh, let's not concede 4. That's just rude. Can we get that clear, please? Story's there. Well done, son. Yeah, I'm hoping Australia get knocked out of the Asian Cup soon. I think they're into the semi-finals, though I don't know if there's a third place playoff, so we may sort of be there till the end of the tournament now anyway. Can Mosley pull another one back for Ortiz? Here he can. Mariano Ortiz! Oh, he's hit the bar! Or the post, rather. Oh, that would have been a cracking goal. Well, signs of revival this second half, wasn't there? We've won the second half 1-0. We've looked much, much better. So maybe my pre-game team talk wasn't the best. We can maybe take from that. Can we, yeah, a little bit annoyed that we got conflicting scout reports and we didn't play the halfback with just the 2 central defenders. That may have made a difference, may not have. But let's see if we can. I don't want to concede a 4th. At least we can cling to the fact we've won the second half here. If that Malakase goal had gone in, of course, we've been allowed to stand, which it shouldn't have because it did look offside. But, 3-2, you never know what could have happened. There it is. So, a little bit disappointing. Not a little bit. That is disappointing, but it's the FA Cup. So, if we had to look at that, we've actually outshot them in the end. We haven't had the possession, but we've almost outplayed them. Almost. We'll say unlucky. Yeah. All right, let's go. Poor finishing. I don't think we were that. I mean, obviously we missed a lot of shots, but I didn't think our finishing was particularly poor. But anyway, let's hope for an improvement against Manchester City. Wait right there, and we'll be back for that. Okay, welcome back. It's Manchester City, and what can possibly go wrong? Look at our form; it's absolutely woeful. But we are still sitting third in the league. You've got to remember that we're still above Manchester City, and we do have a game in hand on them. So I'm saying there's a chance. Now this is the formation we're going with. The team, as you can see, we've switched it up. If for no other reason, it might throw future opponents off, just expecting us to play the 5-3-2. So Story in goal, Scando, Davidson, Malakase, and Njoku across the back. Mason playing in as the halfback, which basically means he'll drop back in and sort of be a ball-playing centre-back for us. Griffiths and Arosa in midfield, Zelaw and Callum Mosley down the wings with Elazage back fit, fighting fit, and hopefully ready to score goals as the target man through the middle. So City's going at the 4-4-2. They do have a pretty wonderful team. I'm not going to go through them all, but this Wanderlei and Dybala up front, absolute class. Frightening, you could even say. There's no real pressure. Then maybe I think that might be the way to go here. Where the underdogs, there's no real pressure to succeed. Go out there and show everyone what you've got. I think I like that. And then some calm faith, and just see if this can be the game. That unlikely one, but snaps us out of this horrible run of form we're in. All right, here we go. Come on, Forest. We need to snap ourselves out of this horrible run of form. Yeah, like I was saying with the change of formation, even if it doesn't work here, which, let's face it, it's Manchester City, it probably isn't going to work. But it just means future games we become a little bit less predictable, and maybe we'll catch City out. We kind of have nothing to lose in that sense. And can we get this clear, please? Story claims it nice. Yeah, maybe we catch them out and we can nick a result we wouldn't have otherwise got. But I feel like something needs to change because, albeit we've played some good teams, but we're just not at the races right now. So maybe this will be the change that sparks us into action. Maybe not. That looked very easy for Davidson, which worries me. Can we clear that? Oh, nicely done. Back to Mason in the halfback role. A little bit under pressure ball there for Griffiths, but that's okay. Look at this. Oh, we're pinging it around. Oh, this is when I went to Ole. Need to shut my mouth sometimes, don't I? Alright, so are we going to end up conceding a highlight here and being put under pressure? Oh, Fernandes has gone past Njoku like he's not even there. Can we clear the header? Malakase is there. Not fully cleared though. Get in front. This highlight is continuing on and on. Dybala, Diawara. Oh, it's too good. I feel like we could have maybe done a little bit more to block Diawara's shot. Just give them encouragement, I guess. But that was some nice football, wasn't it? There's not much we can do there. We've made him go back. That's fine. We're maybe a little bit too compact in defense. That's a good ball. I mean, we've got to remember we are a promoted team. We're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with these guys all the time. There's if Elazage could have turned and maybe played in Callum Mosley. All right, can we get a foot around Dybala? Oh, it's just too easy. Oh, what a miss that is. What a miss. So there's our encouragement coming through a little bit late. I mean, other than the two highlights in 10 minutes, which is a lot, but they haven't had too much. So there's a little bit we can cling on to here. It is only one goal right now as well, so that's good. Let's give it a concentrate. Emre Can, I'm sure that's not the Emre Can of Liverpool. He would be in his mid-60s by now in the game, I would imagine. Although he's only young, isn't he? He's one of those guys that's younger than he looks, but not a left back, of course. All right, they're just toying with us, aren't they? They're just toying with us. Is that a penalty? Oh, it's a good tackle in the end by Malakai. Seelaw heads it up, and Elizage, no, he can't get onto that. We're getting toyed with, aren't we? We should be all laying for them. Oh, it's just too good. It's just too good. All right, we might need to. Let's try pushing up, closing down, staying on our feet. Not like, oh no, let's stuff it. Let's actually go in for them. Different formation, of course. So we need to maybe do we not need to exploit the flanks? Let's try not exploiting the flanks. I'm not quite sure there's much we can do though when they're passing the ball around you like that. I mean, there's not much you can do. It's gone from side to side, Wanderlei to Dybala, Emre Can on the overlap. I mean, Scando probably could have done a little bit better marking his run, but that's just it's Manchester. It's like watching Pep Guardiola's what are they called, Manchester City. We might give it a demand more in a second. Like I say, I don't know there's much we can do here. Mason, can he win that? Oh, he can, but Diawara just picks it up. Wanderlei, can we get a block in? He's too quick for us. The high line does, of course, leave us horribly exposed to a through ball, but they don't look as though they're necessarily looking to go sort of in behind us like that. They're sort of playing it around, trying to go through us. So there's a nice pass. And Njoku on the overlap. Guess it knows. Oh, it's just not happening for us. We've just gone horribly off the boil. Oh, hit that. Luckily, wide of the goal though. We do have West Brom up next, which is a winnable game for us. Then we have Arsenal in the league, which is of course the game that got postponed because of our Carabao Cup semi-final. So we just saw Arsenal, so that's going to be tough. Oh, Malakai has done well there to block it, and it's just fallen straight back to Dybala. There's a tackle from Davidson. Can we get someone in there? Oh, it's a goal. Well, this has been a horrible episode, guys. 6 goals conceded and counting. Yeah, demand more again? I don't know. I don't even know what to do here. I mean, that was a good tackle. Cross comes back in, and was that an own goal? It's not an own goal. Oh no, it looked like it may have been an own goal if it hadn't come back out. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do. Davidson's not playing well. We're gonna maybe the team talks pre-game. I don't think are working right now, so I might have to reconsider those. I might have even just do like an assertive go out there and win against West Brom because we really need those 3 points as things are turning out here. There's a mistake there. Arosa, can he play in? No, we're not. Oh, there we go. There's a mistake for Elizage. Go! 3-1. I'll be back in it. Probably not, but you never know. That's a horrid mistake. It was one there from Chan. Rosa's played a ball in, which was horrible. I don't know what Fernandez is doing, but he's played the ball that Rosa should have, and Elizage knocks it in for us. Nicely done, boys. Now, Davidson's not having a good game in defence. I'm wondering if it might be an opportunity to bring Bernazal on for the second half. He has a little bit more pace. Oh, it's Dybala again. It's just not happening for us, is it? I don't necessarily know that the higher line is making that much of a difference. Maybe we could have played Ed Sheeran back there for some extra pace. In hindsight, if I knew we were going to be playing a higher line, then that's something we could have done. But look at this, they're just toying with us. We are all over the shop. We're supposed to be staying on our feet as well, which is troubling. We're not supposed to be diving in. Um, I don't know how to fix this, guys. Or did I tell them to get stuck in? Maybe I did tell them to get stuck in. But even so, I mean, look at that. They're just knocking it past us with just absolute ease. Maybe we look for a deeper defensive line in the second half, but even then, we're just sitting back then and they're just picking us off, just passing it through us. So this is where we need to get to. Oh, that's horrid. Would have been a spectacular goal if it would have gone in though. Yeah, this is the standard. We're looking very much the promoted team lately, which is what we are, isn't it? But nonetheless, there's only 17 shots on goal and a half of football. Okay, I'm going to get aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive, and that's not good enough. We'll do some individual team talks here, and then we'll come back for the second half. All right, here we go. What I've done, I basically just told them to close down a little bit less. That's what's happening, isn't it? We're pushing up, they're just knocking it past us. So we'll stand off them a little bit more, see if that makes any difference for us. Unfortunately, I think the game is essentially gone at this point. Zelor's looking very nervous. That's just what we wanted. What we might need to look at doing if that doesn't pick up is switch Mosley over to the left wing, and we could bring either Toth or Ortiz on to go down the right. All right, we'll give it an encourage, see if it makes any difference. Davidson's having an absolute shocker, so let's get him off and let's get Bernazal on. Davidson too, his contract's up. I forget who his parent club is, Tottenham maybe, but he's signed for Hearts next year, so he won't be back. Which is, I mean, he's done well for us, but we can see that he's just not a Premier League defender, is he? He's a lower league defender. So I'm sure he'll do well in the Scottish Premier League. That's probably roughly his level, I'd say, because he was brilliant for us in the Championship. But he's not the sort of defender that's going to take us to where we need to be. There's a nice little bit of interplay. Elazaj just can't find a way through. Wanderlay's in behind. Malakay's keep up with him. He's struggling. Oh. It's just too good, isn't it? I don't even know what we can do. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. Hopefully you are still with us. But that is not good. All right, well let's skip this. We're getting absolutely pounded here. Let's see what Bernazal can do. Griffiths, nice first-time ball for Oroza. Look at this. Oh, that's a wonderful ball for Mosley. Can he get one square across the box? He can. Elazaj. Whoa! That's a nice goal. It's not just Manchester City that can play wonderful football. That was quite wonderful. Look at that pass from Oroza. That is a thing of beauty. Mosley pulls it back. Elazaj can't miss. He's got two. We've scored 2 goals. I mean, attacking-wise, that's not too bad. It's just when we haven't got the ball, we've looked truly horrible. We get around them. I mean, if we can get a third before they get their 5th, there it is. Well, never mind. There goes that thought. That's just so frustrating. What's that, like 30 seconds after we've scored? Just makes you want to rip your hair out. Okay, all right. We've seen enough Manchester City goals, I think. I mean, look at that. That's not even a minute, guys. All right. So we're going to take Zelor off in a second. I'll be honest. I'm starting to lose my patience with Ole Gunnar Zelor. Sorry, Zelor. I know that he's a loyal fan of the channel, but it's just not good enough. All right, let's try Mosley as an inside forward. Bring Toth on out wide there. Toth has got good pace, so let's see what he can do. We have another change we can make. We could bring Bobby Mack on, maybe save Griffith's legs. They're looking. He's worked a lot, hasn't he? So actually, know what we could do? I think Charlie Clark is a deep line playmaker, is he not? He's more of an advanced playmaker. That's all right. We'll bring him on. Like I said last game, I've been impressed with what he's been doing when he's played for us. So That's basically one conceding the game will rest Griffith's legs for West Brom. He's played a lot lately. There's a good interception from Mosley to Elizage. What's Elizage going to do? He's played it wide for Toth. Now Toth has good pace. Go on, use your pace, son. Oh, he's let him get back. Can he skip past two? Skip past one, skip past two. It's not a great cross. Elizage! Almost a hat-trick. Mason's not having a great game. Do we take Mosley? Oh, I don't even know. It doesn't even matter at this point. Oh, we've made our 3 subs, so it doesn't matter. We can't take anybody else off. Yeah, again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think... There's at times when we've had the ball, we haven't looked too bad. Our 2 goals have been quite nicely worked. But 39% of the ball, you're just not going to win any games playing like that. The change of formation hasn't necessarily worked. It hasn't necessarily not worked. There's a nice ball from Toth. Can he pick out Elizage for the hat-trick? Oh! We'll tell them to concentrate this time because there's still a minute to go, so they could score again. It's difficult to know what to make of this, isn't it? Just defensively, we've been absolutely horrible. Is that just we're playing a much better team? I don't know. Like if we take chances like this against most teams in the league, then we'll be fine. But defensively, I mean, look at this. They're in again. It's another Ed Sheeran. Oh, we've cleared that away. Toth's done well since he came on, hasn't he? So that's something we can take from this. Obviously, Elizage with a hat-trick is nice. Yeah, I'm not... Could we have maybe been a little bit more attacking in having another man up top to clear to? Maybe it's a bit of a case if we can't quite get out. But if we'd taken Mason out from in here and sort of put someone up in here, then I fear a little bit what might have happened to us through the middle. But, I mean, that's how we used to play with Villa, I think, wasn't it, when we played the 4-3-3s? We actually had a more advanced midfielder rather than a defensive one. But there it is, 5-3, entertaining, goals galore, just most of them at the wrong end. We can only say we're not happy with that. There it is, so we are still clinging on to 3rd spot. We're losing games in hand, so now 4 points with a game in hand against. I mean, 5th is what we've got to look at, isn't it? If we can just cling on to that Champions League spot. But it's going to be tough. So that's it for this episode, guys. The red run continues. Look at that. We've got some work to do, don't we? If you've enjoyed that episode, and I don't know why you would have, but maybe a thumbs up just to encourage me. We've conceded 8 goals. We did score 4, though, so, you know, every cloud. So we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll come back for end of the month. So maybe Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday. That might be hopefully some points we can get there. And hopefully there'll be some few green dots in between here as well. So we'll do that. We'll come back for Bristol City and Sheffield Wednesday on Tuesday. Until then, I've been Aussie Bill, and thank you so much for watching. And here are some of our goals. Not very many, but the few goals we did score in goals of the month for January. Take care.
Automatic.